Hello, this is Max of the Technomancer, here playtesting Crossroads, the Technomancy update. And since last episode, I have spent multiple days, about a day and a half to 2 days, just fixing bugs. Because not only did I find a few bugs last episode, right, which I've now fixed, but then while I was fixing those bugs and testing them on this world, I then found more bugs, and, well, long story short, I've rewritten half of them. No, I was about to, no, but yeah, lots of bugs fixed. I never want to see another bug again. Let's just put it like that. This thing was actually not working due to a bug. It was working in the episode, and the reason it was working in the episode is the problem is it only occurs when this is in multiplayer and a player near this thing relogs or causes the chunk to be reloaded by like leaving the area and then coming back or something like that. And there were about 8 to 10 different bugs all having the same effect. So you can imagine how much fun that was to fix. Like, oh, I think I fixed it now. Nope, nope, no, wait, it's still happening. Because, as by my guess, there were several problems, all with the same effect. So I had to go through and fix them all one by one, and I spent a long time trying to work out if I'd fixed them all or not. Most of the time the answer was I hadn't. And also the problem's intermittent. By my math, it only happened once every, well, early on, when most of the bugs were still in existence, it was about almost every time that I relogged. And then, as I started fixing more and more of the bugs, it got to be only multiplayer as opposed to single player as well. And then it got to be rarer, so it was only, by my math, now that I know the cause, it was 4 out of every 25 times. That's the probability. So it's like I had to do 50 relogs in a row just to make sure that it was finally working and all that stuff, and it was painful, but it's working now. Yeah, there were all sorts of problems, beams disappearing and beams disappearing and the thing randomly shutting off and time gaps, and I don't want to go into it. It hurts. It physically hurts. Also, I added a few new features based on what happened in the last episode. So this thing can now insert directly into an inventory. If I just demonstrate that. Why is this thing out of power or something? No, we're out of cobble. Really? How are we out of cobble? What are we using it all for? Oh, yes. It's not that we're out of cobble, it's that I've got this line set up so that we don't send any more into this network. But if I were to just remove this, how do I do that? We'll see, this thing can now insert directly into an inventory. So that's a nice new feature. However, because I went through the trouble of setting this thing up, I'll keep it this way. I mean, if I have to, I'll change it to inserting directly into an inventory. That's perfectly fine, but it works like this for now. So that's a new feature. Another new feature, I added a new ability to these arms. And, oh, I'm actually on that page. Right on the, a new ability where it can extract a single item at a time from an inventory. Remember how there was how I was complaining about the JI integration for this thing not being any good, as in non-existent, for actually putting recipes in? Right, this button wasn't existing. Well, I've made. I mean, you could see recipes for it, but you couldn't shift-click items in. And with JEI, and now that's added. Of course, I don't have any bronze on me, so that's a thing. But I could demonstrate if I got a bit of bronze. There we go. See, works just fine, like you do. Yeah. Yeah, and then I fixed tons of other bugs that you probably didn't know existed, because I didn't know they existed either, because there were like subtle things that you had to do really weird stuff to trigger them that I did by accident while trying to fix the other bugs and so on, you know. Yes, the trials and tribulations of trying to make a mod that works. This is why we playtest things. Well, at least why I playtest things so thoroughly. Yes, now if we could actually do something this episode instead of me just complaining about not having any free time for the past multiple days due to bugs, but there we go. If we could do something, that would be nice. Right. This arm, I want to do some very, very simple automation with it. I want to make it so that it spins around, picks up one item of sand from this hopper, spins around 180 degrees, places one thing of sand. Where is the end of this? Oh, it's there. 1, 2, 3 blocks out? Yeah. Or is that 4? I remember I measured this. Did I? Let me check. No. Yeah, no, it's in this block space, right? Let me demonstrate this very easily. If I can remember the numbers off the top of my head. 2 should make it pick something up. Ah, there we go. There's an item on the end of that arm. What is it for place? What is it? 17? No, it's not 17, is it? No, it's not 17. Hold on. Let me just demonstrate how to place with this thing. There's 6 different numbers that can make it place. Each number does a different direction, but let's just get any of them. 3, so that would be 20. 20, I believe. There we go, 20. Ah. There. Okay, 3 blocks out, which means that this thing should probably be 1 block more in this direction, because I want it to be able to extract from this hopper. Oops, didn't mean to break that torch. Extract from this hopper. So I'm going to want it to spin around, pick up an item from the hopper, spin around 180 degrees, place a sand block here, wait. We're going to hit it with a fusion not a fusion beam, yes, a fusion beam, actually, yes. And then it'll pick up the sand, the now pure quartz block in the world, which is placed, at this point placed, pick it up as an item, spin around, let's say, you know what actually might make sense is, yeah, let me think. I'm just trying to think because it needs 3 points. It needs a pickup point, a drop-off point, and a placement point. So I was going to have, yeah, what's the simplest way to do this? Now, like, remember, you notice how I just moved it closer so that it would be in range? If I could be bothered, I could actually manipulate all the angles involved so that the end of this thing could be up there or down there or whatever. But I can't be bothered right now. Right now, I'm just trying to do a very simple system. So, how about we say there's redstone over there. Let's say we place the sand here and break it there, and then we spin around 180 degrees and drop it into an inventory here. And then that will go, and that will be sent over. Or, you know what else we could do? And this might be just as easy. The end of this hand should be in range. If we just spin it over here, it should be in range of this chest. So yeah, I think that was actually my original plan, was to deposit the items in this chest instead of in this one. Yes. And believe me, this thing, if you can be bothered to do so, can be very, very complicated and can do all sorts of convoluted movements and everything that the arm really should be able to reach. But like I said, trying to do the simplest setup here possible. Just because I don't know, I just want to. Later on, we're almost certainly going to make something really complicated with the arm, like a trebuchet, where you can type in the coordinates you want to aim for, or something like that. That could be fun. I'm not quite sure how to calculate turn the end coordinates into a velocity, but I'm sure I could work out the equations, or just come up with a better input system. Yes. Anyways. Sorry, hold on. How very strange. I was disturbed by the sound of an airplane. But not like any airplane. Like an airplane, like an airplane, how it sounds when it's decelerating, which is weird, because we're not near an airport. I don't know. Pilots do things. I don't know. Anyways. Yes. So how exactly are we going to control this thing? Well, we're going to use something called a redstone registry, which is a slightly more advanced, well, rather more advanced version of a keyboard in that it can store several values at once. and it can toggle between them. So it's a bit of tin. We do have some tin. There we go. And I can indeed use this question mark feature. Very good. Now, I've come up with the designs for making very easily programmable controlling systems for these arms. And the idea is that you'd have one redstone registry for every angle, and there's 3 angles. But in this case, we're only controlling one of the 3 angles, so we only need 1 registry. Now, the specific gear that we're going to be spinning is the one on the bottom. Oh, this copper, not cup. Show him. A silly mistake. Oh, I already made redstone registries. I'm stupid. I already had some. Oops. I forgot that, like, 2 days ago, I prepared several materials for this episode, and yeah. Then bugs happened. You know that subreddit? There's a subreddit called Emu War Flashbacks, right? Where it's like flashbacks and post-traumatic stress disorder to the Great Emu War. I mean, it's all a joke because the Great Emu War, while real, was utterly ridiculous. I feel like we need a subreddit now called Bug Fixing Flashbacks. Yes. Where can I stick this lava bucket? Here. I'm not going to be placing blocks. How do I want to do this? Let's see. I need a redstone axis as well, before I forget. Thank you. Thank you, universe. Actually, thank you, me, for being prepared for once. I mean, for once. I'm always prepared. Always prepared. Now, place your bets on whether or not I'm going to die. You might be able to get good odds. You might be able to get good odds. Okay. Oh, were you betting that I was gonna die? I'm so sorry. You lost that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you've lost that bet. I'm not dead. Okay. Okay. Right. Now, redstone registry. Where did I put mine? No, that's a keyboard. They look similar, but they're not the same. Registry. Let me show you how this thing works. So, unlike the keyboard, where we have exactly one value that we type in, yes, or these things can actually have a special value. They can actually have pi, and it will know that that's pi is 3.14 yada 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 to lots of decimal points. Not infinite in decimal points, but many, many, many. Just convenience feature. Doesn't do any other fundamental constants, just pi. So this thing, we can type in several values. So let's say we want to have 33, and then plus, oh, sorry, right, I'm silly. I need 33, oh, 333, no, let's have 33. And then select down, and then let's have 86, and then let's add another value. Let's see, and let's go 0.67, sure. Oh, sorry. Believe it or not, I haven't actually used this thing very much. You know what it is that I'm forgetting? I'm not sure. I'm forgetting something. Right, so that one I can program. What's going on here? There we go. I don't know if I was just doing something wrong. 33. Okay, you know what I'm doing? I know exactly what I'm doing. It's not a bug. I'm just being stupid. I'm doing force of habit. It's force of habit that it's not bugged, but it's okay, right. Look at this thing. I type in this and I click off and it's fine, right? Okay, you can't have the F, but what I was doing that was wrong was I was clicking off to set the value, not R. Right? You can't do that. You have to do enter. It's enter to set the value, and I think if I don't make a note of that, I should. And there is a reason you can't just click off. I can't be bothered to go into it. Did I mention in here that you need to hit enter? Note to self, mention that you need to hit enter in this book. Okay, I will do that later. Yeah, I'm force of habiting not hitting enter. Okay, let's just hit enter. There we go. So I can have several values. I can delete one if I want, so let's get rid of this one. And you see the one at top is at yellow. I can do this and make this one yellow. Okay. Only one can be yellow at a time. And this thing can store up to 32 values. So from 0 to 31. So what exactly is this thing doing? Well, that would be best demonstrated if I got my ratiators. And I got another ratiator here. So you'll notice that currently in yellow is 0.6363, and that's what we're outputting. Now, if I were to select this one, that's what we'd output, right? So far not very interesting, so what? We have to do it manually? No good, right? Well, there is a way to toggle between these automatically, and that's if we provide this thing a redstone signal. Let's give it a signal strength of 1. Alright, we've gone to the next one in the list. So now we're at 55. Now if I do it again, we'll go to 0.63, yada yada. Right, now if I do 2, we'll go 2 at a time. So instead of going to 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, did I say 4 sevens? I just said 3. We'll skip that one because we're going 2 steps now and go loop around to 33. So if there, 33. And we're outputting 33. Now it doesn't quite loop around entirely. If I put in a value that is greater than the total number of entries, so we've got 4 entries, right? If I put in a value of, well, if I put in a value that is greater than or equal to the number of entries, instead of looping around, it'll just reset to the very first entry. So since there's 4 entries, we reset. When it gives a signal 4, if I do a signal 5, that will also reset it. Like I can, and yeah, resets. So the registry is basically where you manually program in values with an order to them, and then you can, using redstone, toggle between them, and you can use this to control things. It's really not that complicated, though I do need to note in the book about the pressing enter thing. Hold on. Sorry, I just made a note of that. I need to make a note of that in the journal. Yes, I realize the weirdness of what I just said. Okay. Yes. Now the next thing we're going to do... Now currently we're thinking this thing's going to place a block here, so probably it's not a good idea to put it there. I'm about to build. Sure, let's put it over here. Actually, that'll interfere with that, probably. So let's not put it over there. So what exactly am I doing? Well, let's see here. Registry. And then we're going to set this to multiply mode. Hold on. We set this to multiply mode so we can control this thing, so it can be a bit of an on-off switch. Because we multiply by 0, no signal. And if we multiply by 1, let's go through the registry. Now, you know how I said we only need a maximum of 3 registries for a most complex system and 1 in this case? I momentarily forgot about the fact that we need a 4th registry, or in this case a 2nd one, to control the redstone input. So let me put one of those there. Now, you might be thinking, Max, you've blocked off access to this hopper for this arm. How is your system going to work with this here? This arm can go through blocks. Perfectly fine. It doesn't mind that the registry is here. Yeah. Doesn't matter at all. Now, multiply mode. This might be a bad way to control it here. To put the redstone down, now that I think about it. How exactly to wire this up? I'm trying to think. Because if it was an odd number, this would be far easier. Let me think. I'm trying to think, yeah. I'm syncing. Let's try. Right, so that'll do a strength of 15 there. And we'll just do, that should do 15 here as well, yes? No, it doesn't measure through blocks, right? Silly me. See, that'll be 14, and wait, that's also 15? What? What? Do I not understand how vanilla redstone works? I'm starting to think I don't understand how... Oh, this thing is powering through the block. Right, okay. Right, that actually makes sense, yes. I need to account for that. Which means probably powering this thing through this side, to be honest. Just so as to not cause trouble there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Once again, we're presented with an even number of blocks separating them. That is annoying. That is quite annoying, actually. Hold on. Well, I almost died by accidentally holding right-click with this thing. Just thought you should know. There, I just moved this registry over so that now I could have an even multiplication. So, how I'm going to do this is, well, first off, I'm going to have a lot of blank spaces in these registries. Just to be able to, well, we'll get to the programming last. First we need to set up the controlling system, and then we can program these things in. So what I want to do is power this block here with a timer. Now, how long should the timer be? And we're going to have a pulse, not how long the gap between each pulse, but how long should each pulse be? Let me think. Actually, the video is running a bit long. We'll finish this up next episode. Goodbye.